because I think a lot of us is like, am I the only one that feels crazy? I just know that I'm tired of seeing success stories at the end and wondering like, well, what did it take for you to like what was you going through? Like, was you ever sitting on your bathroom floor? I think it's working. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Hello and welcome back to my channel. We're sitting on my floor today because that's the kind of day that I'm having. I feel like I'm just on the floor. So I put myself actually on the floor so that I could, emulate, I guess. All right, mic died because that's the kind of day that I'm having. So we set up a little. Basically, I have my laptop here and I have it plugged in so it can charge and work at the same time. So it has a power source. All right, back to the video. So basically, today I was working on my next video, which is basically a part 2 to the first video that I uploaded, which was last week, and it's just been a struggle. First of all, it's mad long. It's like 20 minutes right now, and I'm like, I'm not posting a 20-minute video. No one's watching that. I shouldn't say that. Maybe someone would watch it, but I probably wouldn't watch it. So, hence why it's been tough to edit. But I also purchased this YouTube course, right, to like teach you the algorithm and like how to get success on YouTube. Cool. And so I started doing it, and as soon as I started doing it, I started to feel overwhelmed. Like, it doesn't compute, because the reality is YouTube is a search engine, right? So most of YouTube's content is answering very specific questions. And the reality is my content, I mean, it might answer questions, you know what I'm saying? But that's not really what my content exists for or is going to exist for. And so I'm now realizing that I need to start doing what I said I was going to do. And what I was going to do is document the process. And the process has me right here on this bathroom floor. So that's where we at. I'm just grateful that I don't drink, because that would be a bad look to just be on your bathroom floor drinking. No judgment. It just, for me, I'm two in my head. I think what's been tough for me is it's not even me. It's like God told me I was supposed to be on this platform, because when I made a specific decision to not take a traditional path in life, right? More specifically, I dropped out of the Ivy League. Story for another day. I didn't have any examples. I didn't have any examples of anyone who decided that they were going to go against the grain or whatever the case might be and really like make something of themselves, but like do it from themselves, if that makes sense, right? Like, so not just leaving to go do something that already exists, but really like, nah, I'm about to go do something that like I ain't never seen it done before. I don't know where to go to find out the information as to how to do it outside of me. Like, the only person that can really show me how to do it is me, which is really God, but so anyway, all that to say, that's not really searchable content. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna title this, you know what I'm saying? And no matter what I title it, who's gonna watch it? I don't know. But a few things that I had to realize were, one, whoever watches it, they were meant to watch it. And whoever sees it was meant to see it. And who doesn't see it, they wasn't meant to see it. And you know what I'm saying? It wasn't going to do nothing for them. But there's someone that this video will do something for. So that's why we're here. The other thing is, I know I talk specifically about YouTube because that's what I'm doing. And really, YouTube is just the vehicle to basically create a community of people who are like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like taking it day by day, but I know definitely I'm not going that way. And I'm just trying to get to that inner self, get that inner standing to really, you know what I'm saying, do what I feel like I was put here to do, And then I just had to remember, like, look, God put this on my heart. So if it don't pop, then I don't know what's gonna pop, because it's coming from God. You know what I'm saying? But it's to say that, like, anything that's so, like, deep in you in that way, anything that is so, like, you have conviction behind it, you got to do it. Even when it's not fun. And you know, I think for me, I had to really, like, sit down and think about a few things. Think, who am I making these videos for, right? It's for the people that would resonate with me, right? The people that would need, I don't know, whatever it is I have to offer, right? Like the way that I would offer it, the way that I'm going to say it, the way that I'm going to communicate it, the way that I'm sitting on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I think one of the hardest parts of this is that I have this thing in my head and I have this thing on my heart, and I have God, like, nudging me, you know, hitting me with signs, hitting me with random phone calls of people being like, oh my gosh, like, seeing you start this is so inspiring, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, cool. And it's so hard to just, like, get it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard because I don't have any examples. And I think that, like, we've been conditioned to work off of examples, right? Okay, this worked. Let's, you know, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Let's follow that model and let's make sure it works for us, right? But the thing about me, which I've, you know, the theme of my life is that most things that seem to work for other people just don't really be working for me like that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, like, a way of being or whatever. And so, yeah, today was just tough because I'm editing a video, I'm judging it, I'm judging myself. Why I'm doing it to myself, I don't know. Part of it is because, you know, I am just like, oh my God, this doesn't fit into the YouTube rubric. There's a formula to how this thing is supposed to work, and I'm not following the formula. Oh my God, now I'm trying to put it together, and what am I gonna do if it doesn't do well? I mean, it's a hard question because, yeah, that is a good question. What am I gonna do? This is what I'm supposed to be doing. It gotta do well. It's how I'm gonna eat. And then I had to, like, really calm down. Spoke to my accountability buddy, who I don't know if he's still my accountability buddy, because the tantrum that I threw, the way he got off the phone with me, I know he was like, this chick is nuts, and I regret ever coming into contract with her, or whatever you want to call it. And I had to remember, so I called my mom. That's another thing I did, because, like, moms love you no matter what, right? Like, you're perfect to them all the time. And we were talking, and she's been, like, there along the way with me, you know, like, since I knew I was supposed to do it, since I was, like, debating when I was gonna start and all of that, right? And she was like, hey, remember that video? And she was talking about Heinz, Hindsight or Heinz, I don't know. His name on YouTube is Heinz. And he made this video, and Heinz is probably the one person that I can say is, like, an example. And it's not because I'm necessarily gonna make the exact same content as him, but, or as he does, but it's the strategy. That's what it is, right? Because there is a very specific YouTube strategy to make sure that you perform well, like your channel performs well, right? And he didn't follow it. And actually the way he went about it is exactly the way that I have to go about this, because my channel is really just about documenting the journey and showing y'all, like, you know, everything that it's going to take to, one, get this stuff out of my head and out of my heart, and two, build a YouTube channel and build a community, right? And, like, basically build the life of my dreams. And all the aspects that go into that, right? So, like, I envision tons of vlogs, And I didn't really envision doing this, I'm not gonna lie. But I realized, wait, if you're documenting the journey and the process, you gotta document this. When you feel shitty and you're just sitting, excuse my language, and you're just sitting on your bathroom floor. So, here we are. And tomorrow's a new day. I think I was also stressed out because I was like, okay, I'm uploading on Thursday. Listen, that video, y'all, I don't know when it's gonna upload. This is probably gonna go up before the part 2 to the last video, which is actually fine because it's just to say, like I said, not all y'all are starting YouTube or whatever, but like I said, if there's something that you have conviction about that lives in here and it lives in here and lives in your whole being, you know what I'm saying? You got to do it. And I'm here to tell you that you're probably going to be in your head about it. And that's how you know it's important. If I could say one thing that this process has really just illuminated for me is the fact that my perfectionist tendencies really gotta go. They gotta go. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's funny because I'm discovering now, like this whole time I'm like, no, I gotta show up for them, like for my people, for like the people that that I vibe with, that resonate with me and that I resonate with, right? In reality, I think I'm really starting to learn that I'm doing this because like there's places where I really have to grow, you know what I'm saying? Especially so that I can really show up and share the journey. And like I said, I don't know how to do this. So, because I've never really seen it done. I just know that I'm tired of seeing success stories at the end and wondering like, well, what did it take for you to like what was you going through? Like, was you ever sitting on your bathroom floor? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to fill that gap for me and for the rest of us, because I think a lot of us is like, am I the only one that feels crazy? So I know I said bye before, but I'm gonna be a real I don't know if any of y'all, I don't know if this is like an immigrant thing, Caribbean thing, or a Haitian parent thing. I just know my Haitian parents, when we were little, we would go to these little like functions or whatever, or like a party or whatever, and you with your cousins, so you're playing with your cousins and stuff, and then they'd be like, okay, we're gonna leave, go get your coat, go put your coats on, like we're leaving. And so you put your coat on, right? And it's cold outside, but inside, like, especially, immigrant households, like the heat would be on blast. So you got your coat on, you're sweating, and you're like, I thought we was leaving. They're like, yeah, we leaving. And they're still like talking. That's how I feel. That's what I'm doing right now. And you really do become your parents. That is the last thing. You really do become your parents. But you can be a better version. And that's the go. All right, I'm done because I'm rambling now. But yeah, here's a look into the real feelings of, I guess, fighting for your dream or whatever, following your heart and following the call to do this thing that you were put here to do. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're really trying to be in your purpose, there's so much distracting energy, so many things going on around the world, so many people saying, no, it's supposed to be like this, but inside you're like, no, it's supposed to be like this, like this, like me, Okay. Bye, good night. Me. Mic test. Mic check. Mic test. Who says that? Mic test. Mic check. Oop. Look, my phone dying. Which is a blessing because I've recorded so many videos just sitting on this floor right now. Because obviously I'm like, oh, well, that's stupid. That's not good enough, right? All in my head. But anyway.